Hey guys, welcome back. So today we'll be making a quick chicken tikka masala. It's a little unconventional. I already have pre-made chicken. Typically, you would have to marinate the chicken breast in some yogurt, garlic, ginger, and some spices, but I'm not doing that today. I already have some pre-made chicken. It's just a garlic and herb seasoning, so it will be fine with the tikka sauce going over it. So that's one step out of the way. All we need to do is make the chicken tikka sauce. We're gonna start with some garam masala powder, cayenne pepper, ground cumin, garlic and ginger paste. I have a shallot that I need to use up, so we're gonna throw that in. An onion, bell pepper, tomato puree. I'm gonna add some serrano peppers for a little heat and some cream. All right, so this is gonna come together really quick. If you already have steamed rice ready, it's gonna be a meal under 20 minutes. Let's get started. So for the chicken tikka sauce, we're just gonna start with sauteing our vegetables. A little oil, and I have diced onion, bell pepper, and our serrano chili. We're gonna saute it for about 5 minutes to get it softened. We don't need to get any color on it before we add our spices and ginger. So now that the onions are a little soft, translucent, we're going to add our garlic, ginger. This is jarred ginger, by the way. I saw this at the Costco. They had the ready ground ginger. And so I decided to give it a try because I have fresh ginger in the house, but sometimes it goes bad. And this was something nice to try, see if it worked. We'll see today. So we're gonna add the garlic, ginger, let that cook for another minute. Now we're gonna add the garam masala. I think I put too much in this, so 2 teaspoons of that. And then some cumin. So give that a few seconds. We're gonna bloom the spices in the oil and the heat. Bring out those flavors. You notice I chop my vegetables chunky and they're not uniform. It's because it's gonna go in a blender and it's not gonna matter. So it could have even been chunkier than this. But I just chopped it a little smaller so it can cook a little faster. The onions are soft enough for us to add the tomato. If your onions aren't soft yet and you add the tomato, it's gonna prevent the onions from softening because the acid in the tomatoes will like kind of pickle it in a way. So you don't want that. You want to soften those onions up. All right, so now we're just gonna simmer this. It takes about like 5 minutes, and then we're gonna throw it in the blender. So before we add it in the blender, I just added some cream to this, and we're gonna cook it down for another minute. I know it's not traditional to always use some cream in it. My traditional chicken tikka recipe, I add cashews to the saute. And then when you blend it up, the cashews add that creaminess to it. But we don't have that. We're cleaning out my pantry. All right, now it's time to blend. You want to blend it up till it's really smooth. I'm fortunate to have Vitamix to where it pulverizes it to where you don't need to run it through a sieve or a strainer. Want to blend it till it's really smooth. I'm not going to run it through a sieve because I think this is smooth enough. If you have a regular blender, you might need to blend it up for a little longer. And you might want to run it through a sieve because you want it super smooth. We're going to pour this back into the pan. Add a little bit of water to the blender. And I forgot to add earlier a touch of sugar to balance out the acidity. And I did not season it with salt. Now we're gonna add our chicken back in. And all we have to do is just heat up the chicken, heat it through, and be all ready to go. Give it a quick taste. It already looks good. It looks like chicken tikka. Oh yeah. All right, so now we're gonna serve our tikka with some white rice. White rice. Why'd I say white rice? I don't know why I said it like that. I'm weird. So, plate it all. This is a healthy portion. Can you eat cilantro? Do you think it tastes like soap? Ooh, this looks really good. It smells really good. Let's give it a taste. All right, guys. So now we're done with our quick chicken tikka masala with our pre-made grilled chicken, and all we had to do was make the quick sauce to go on top of it. Let's see if it's gonna pass the taste test. If you didn't tell me that this wasn't marinated, pre-marinated chicken, I wouldn't be able to tell. It just tastes like great chicken tikka. This was quick and easy to put together. If you have the time, I would highly recommend doing your own marinade and getting started. But if you're in a pinch, this is totally gonna hit the spot. And also with the pre-jarred ginger that I used, it's growing on me. You can't really taste the difference. You're still getting that ginger flavor. I tasted it raw in its original form, and I was able to taste the citric acid and not just a fresh raw ginger taste. But when you're cooking it into like a long simmer, it blends in well with everything else, and you won't be able to taste the difference. So jarred ginger, you're okay in my book, and I'm definitely going to use you again, just definitely for the convenience. So summing it up, there's nothing wrong with breaking traditions by making little shortcuts here and there. It still tastes fantastic. Let's have fun in the kitchen. Let's use up what we got and still have a fantastic meal. If you didn't tell me that this was made with the pre-grilled chicken, I wouldn't be able to tell. The sauce itself is so flavorful that it covers up everything else. And yeah, it's a fantastic way to use up your leftovers and reimagine just plain grilled chicken into something that's very comforting and very close to home. Because yeah, this reminds me of my childhood. So good. I recommend you trying this. And if you want, I will show you how to make my traditional chicken tikka masala. That's a little more complicated, but just as simple. And you could make ahead, freeze, and it'll be ready in a pinch. All right, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed my content, please like, subscribe, comment, share it with a friend, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.